What's up guys, Sixpack here. I'm here with another Total War Warhammer online battle. This one I'm playing as the Warriors of Chaos against the Dwarves again. So I knew that the Dwarves were gonna be really heavily armored again, so I needed a lot of armor piercing damage. So let's quickly go over my army. I have here the Chaos Warriors with great weapons, the Chaos Marauders with great weapons as well, so I have 2 of each of these. Then I have the Chaos Trolls and 2 units of Chosen with great weapons as well, so the great weapons are more armor piercing and more effective against the Dwarves. Then I have this cute little giant here joining the army. And back here I have one of the Hellcannons that I know will be really effective against them, because I can keep it out of range for them, because they usually don't have a lot of fast units that can outflank it. And so here is my general. He's a Chaos Lord on a Manticore. So we actually spawned quite far off between each other. Oh, I forgot one more unit I have back here. That's one of the chariot units for Chaos. It's the Gore Beast Chariot. It's really cool looking guys. Look at them. It's like a gorilla or something pulling the chariots. So I have one of these ready to offer some support. So taking a quick look at the Dwarves, who started way back here. So they're camping, of course, which is a logical tactic if you're a Dwarves. So they got a pretty standard Dwarf army, but with no range units, so I was a bit surprised by this, except for their artillery, so no thunderers or crossbowmen. But a lot of these miners, who I know throw satchel charges that can do a lot of damage. And yeah, some powerful melee infantry as well. Longbeards and iron breakers. So this was gonna be a really tough fight, so I had to avoid taking a lot of fire from their cannons, which they were already moving up here. So I wanted to approach them through the forest here, where I was best hidden. But I didn't want to go too fast, because I still had to get my cannon here in place in order to start firing on them. So I'm gonna quickly fast forward here while the army moves into place. So in the meanwhile, the Dwarves, they also tried to move up their cannons a little bit, but decided that it was not the best strategy. So here I saw my Hellcannon was almost within reach, so I started to do my attack with my army. So this is where the cannons start opening fire. My cannon as well, but I saw he shot the trees. So I decided to move him a bit more up this hill. And as the cannons are now in range for my units, I started my approach on their army. Let's have a good look at them. Going through the swamp here. So the Chaos Marauders going in first. Hopefully to take most of the damage. The Trolls and the Giant here on the flanks with the Chosen Warriors. So my goal was to really hit the center hard, but he was ready for it. He also had one Slayer unit here at the back, so I had to make sure that he didn't catch my Monstrous units. And really smart of them now to target my Chosen Warriors with their cannons, so my strongest melee units. Here comes my Hellfire Cannon. Oof, nice hits. A lot of Dwarves taken out with that one. So it's really effective against the Dwarves. My Chaos Marauders hit their line, but in come the blasting charges. So a lot of damage right away to the Marauders. But yeah, that's the best thing, that these units take the punch of the blasting, the satchels, because I didn't want my stronger warriors to get hit by that. So I sent in my Manticore to attack his cannons, take them out quickly. But he sent my his general against him, so that was really dangerous, so I didn't want to stay there too long. Meanwhile, over here my trolls already got destroyed by the satchel charges. So that was disappointing, but my giant is now in here. And I knew he was gonna lose this fight. He was really surrounded by slayers and a lot of other units. But I wanted him to keep this this group of enemies occupied while I took care of the center here. So I was able to overwhelm the first units here at the center, which was important. So I kept him here. I knew he was gonna die eventually, but I just wanted him to keep these guys busy for as long as possible. So my trolls died really fast. That was a bit disappointing. They routed really fast, even with just a few deaths. But here I sent my chariot in on this flank, so that he couldn't support it with a flanking maneuver here, but he didn't try it. Some of my marauders here came back. Oh, and that Hellfire Cannon is so insane. You'll see it throughout the battle. He kills so many dwarves. It's proven to be a really effective weapon against the dwarves, that Hellfire Cannon. Look at that shot. It's like 10 dwarf warriors dead again with that shot. So I'm down to one chariot, but it's gonna prove to still be really effective. I know, two more chariots. One's gonna die now, I think. But it's still gonna prove very effective in this battle with outflanking enemies. So yeah, this one is almost dead in a hail of satchel charges. Another Hellfire Blast. So the center battle is going well here. I had to push my units a bit more further against them to make sure they were all in combat. And their general was here as well. Still their cannons are firing here, so I think I resent my last chariot. It routed here, but it's gonna come back against those cannons. Oh yeah, and some chosen here are breaking through to the cannons as well. So meanwhile my giant is dead, unfortunately, but he managed to keep them occupied for quite a while. Comes another Hellfire Cannon Blast. Just missed. So this chariot is coming back to bravely assault these guys in the back. Still be very effective with that. So now I'm just it's a pure melee fight here against all the Dwarven elite units, the Longbeards and the Hammerers. But I got really strong guys with great weapons here as well, doing a lot of damage against their armor. And I'm still getting support from my Hellblaster Cannon and my Manticore. I'm sending him for charges. So here there's gonna be a few really good Hellcannon shots here. That one hit another couple of dwarves again. So I think the melee fight was a bit even, but with the support from my chariots, my Manticore, and from the Hellfire Cannon, I actually managed to overpower them. So a lot of dwarves are routing now. Here the fight is still a bit even. I decided to send my Manticore and chariots behind him, behind the retreating dwarves, to make sure they didn't come back at a lot of strength. And the rest of my units here were cleaning up the remaining dwarves. And their general's pretty sold out now. So as soon as these dwarves here are dead, the last ones, I wanted to surround this general and make sure that he was dead to finish them off. So some dwarf warriors here. I think these are... What are these again? Iron Breakers. Really strong dwarf infantry. Now completely surrounded by Chosen and Chaos Warriors. Manticore coming back, Hit him right in the back. Just taking out one dwarf. My chariot is coming back as well. So they're putting up a good fight here, the dwarves, but they're getting completely surrounded now. The chariot is coming back, some marauders coming back. So just finishing off these last units of miners and iron breakers here. So now their general is completely surrounded by my units. Just a couple dwarf warriors left, but quickly getting taken out. But I saw that he had a lot of units that were coming back from routing, so he was regathering his army here. But I knew it was gonna take a little time for them to come back, because dwarves are pretty slow. So I wanted to take out his general here as fast as possible. But he's super strong. So even though he's surrounded by all my men, he's fighting on, killing a lot of them. Look at that with one hit. So here you can see his army is coming back. So I knew when that army was gonna hit mine, he might still have a chance to turn this around. So I had to make sure his general was gonna die already, come on. Just keeps fighting. And his dwarves are slowly approaching, so I started up my Hellfire Cannon again to fire on the approaching dwarves. So here his general is routing, I think. And I'm sending my warriors against theirs. Sending my Manticore in for support. And keep a couple of other units going after the general to take them out. Because if I managed to kill him, I knew the rest of his army was gonna break. Really great shot again from the Hellfire Cannon. So I sent my Manticore against his general. And I think I knew I won here at this point. Really fantastic shot again from the cannon, and that was the morale of the dwarves. It was all over for them. They didn't see a possibility anymore. So let's watch the kill counts. So really high amount of kills from the Hellcannon. I suggest if you ever play this scenario against dwarves with Chaos Warriors, you bring at least one of them, because it proved to be very effective. The Giant got a lot of kills as well, even though it was really surrounded. And then the Chosen Warriors, they managed to take out so many units. The Chariots did well as well as my General. So and the bit weaker units, they got killed pretty easily, so didn't manage to get a lot of kills. And yeah, none of his units did particularly well, except for this one Ironbreaker unit. But yeah, overall really fun fight. Hope to play against this guy again soon. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. And here's the charge. Even though the artillery really hit zombies there,